notes. Fucking idiots.
He's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer, Americana writer, got no education. I met him while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur, until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, 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 Mr. G, 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 Mr. G, He's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, 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 Mr. G,
Hi, I'm Mr. G. Welcome to my class. Aloha. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. I can't complain, but I still do. I made a note not to talk about my neighbors, but we come from different cultures where cats are treated differently. Where they come from, where I'm from, where I'm at in the Hawaii.
Bella_smiles.
Hey Bella.
Said. LOL, hey Mr. G.
Hey Bella, I was just thinking about you. Moses is recovering from an injury to her paws. So I'm very, very grateful for the hammock here. Moses' bed. This has been her hospital room. I don't want to get too much into her injury, but she developed some burns on her paws, and burns takes the longest to heal. And so thank you, that really, really came in handy more than ever. So good to see you too, Bella. Happy New Year, by the way. I'm just about to, in a little while after class, I'm going to have somebody watch my place while I go check the P.O. box.
Bella_smiles. Said. Hey, made my day. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, she seems to be okay. She's eating fine. She's eating and drinking, and she purrs when I pet her, like so. Hey Moses, hello. But Moses has had just the hardest luck. She's had a hard life. So at one point she had 2 huge tumors on her belly that she got over. Like I told you, I lost her for 8 weeks, and she was alone in the woods and had to, I don't know how she got food or water, but she survived those 8 weeks. And also, even after I saved her, she jumped out of a window and knocked out her front fang tooth. So she's had a string of just bad instances. And this is another thing that happened. I ordered some stuff that you put in the litter box. And air freshener, like Arm & Hammer air freshener that you mix in the litter box. But instead they gave me the carpet stuff. And I started putting it in the litter box, and I realized that it was the carpet stuff. And then I stopped and I put it away, then I scooped out all the litter that was in there. That's what I'm thinking what happened, is that she got a chemical burn on her paws due to the carpet thing. But like I said, I don't want to get too many into it because we got so many, Monday morning doctors everywhere, and I think I know what's best for, my oldest, longest having CAT. So, but like I was saying, there's just places in the, the neighbors. Like I've been doing a lot of gardening. I have a huge vegetable garden that I'm really proud of, And gardening is something that, educated, intelligent people do. It's a good practice to know agriculture. It's a good hobby. It's useful to know that kind of thing. And in modern countries like the United States, agriculture and backyard farming is something that's done by, intelligent people that have the time. In third world countries like the Philippines, nothing against them, but the farming is done by exceptionally poor people, and only people that farm are people that are destitute and starving. So when my neighbors are mocking me, like I got into it with one lady, because Old Timer had fallen in the back courtyard, and I wanted to go look for him, or I wanted to go get him. I saw him back there. And that lady, see, that's the thing. I don't want to talk about my neighbors. I'm not even talking about that. They have nothing to do with Mississippi. This class is about Mississippi. Let's move on. They're ghetto as fuck. Then that's that. Thank you. Hey, Mrs. J. Alright, so continuing, again, but still, they do yell shit at my apartment, and just earlier I saw them, they were mocking me because I was watering my plants, and then the one lady, because I told her I volunteer as a cat feeder, and she's like, no you don't, you no volunteer. And I was like, yeah, I do. I was like, I don't need to work because I have money. And then she's like, no you don't. They started looking at my clothes and stuff. And then I heard her down there, she's like, if he has money, why does he have a garden? If you have money, then you're not allowed to have a backyard garden, that's their logic, But anyways, I don't have that much money, but compared to them, I do. I don't have to, share, never mind. Let's not talk about it. Come on, somebody else stop me. Okay, so this is my website on the screen here, gxnetwork.live. These things are very highly produced. I know there's just a handful of people here, but I think that's one reason is because I just when you I got involved with Black Death for a minute. But anyways, I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but if you're new to this channel, then this is high quality entertainment. Alright. It's just so quiet today for some reason. But that's fine, because I'm talking, huh? I have the floor. My neighbor's Okay, so visit the website if you want to know more about the teacher here, me, Mr. G. Today we're going to be learning about Mississippi. Today's date, it's Thursday, January 7th. So it's one more day. So that means one more lecture for me. I give 5 lectures a week, Monday through Friday. And hey, guess what? There's a weekend. Well, maybe I'll do some live streaming gaming or something on the weekend. But the weekdays are for learning. You're like, oh, Mr. G, why are you doing this? You're not getting paid for doing this. Well, I didn't get paid for the 7 years that I was enrolled in the university either. But I learned a lot. And I became a better person, a more intelligent person. Oh, guess what, guys? Those 7 years in the university, those really help out now, in 2021. Not everybody goes to school to get a job. Not everybody goes to college to work a 9 to 5. Some people go just to, be a more well-rounded person, to be more intelligent. I spent 7 years in school. You needed 120 credits to graduate. I finished with over 100, 220. Not because I had problems. I made decent grades, had almost a 4.0 through the first 3 years. GPA, but I continued and I took classes that didn't count towards my degree, but that I was just interested in. So it's not really hard for me to do something like this. Maybe if I was walking around 8 hours a day or filming my entire life 8 hours a day, that would be something that would be hard to do. Maybe if I didn't have the knowledge and skills and intelligence and abilities that I do as far as teaching and giving out information and public speaking, if I wasn't able to do that as well as I am, then it would be kind of silly. I'm not talking smack on other streamers, but if that's what you're thinking about, I think some of them are starting to wise up though. Work on yourself first before you go and put a camera in your face. Maybe read more than one book if you're going to be speaking in front of people for long, extended periods of time. Alright, continuing. Today is January 7th. And today we'll be learning about Mississippi. Spelled Mississippi. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. If you want to count to 60 and you want to get exactly on 60, go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. I'm not going to count to 60, but that's what you do. And if you're wondering why they do that all around the United States. Nobody really knows why, but it does work for whatever reason. Mississippi is the 20th state in the United States. It became a state around 1817, 1818, early 1800s. It was a territory before that in the 1790s. The capital and largest city is Jackson, Mississippi. Only 170,000. In my opinion, it's the only city in Mississippi. You could call Biloxi a city. You can call Gulfport a city. Population 71,000. But those aren't really cities in my book. Those are towns. Even, the capital, Jackson, barely having, 170,000 people, it is a town too, in my opinion. The whole state of Mississippi is very small. There's less than 3 million people in the entire state. 2.9 million people. So it's one of the very least populous states that we've gone over so far. The state of Mississippi, it's predominantly, it's very diverse. I just put on the screen a new Mississippi flag. There was a point where Mississippi went without a flag. They had no flag. The original flag, has in the top left corner, the Confederate flag and the Confederate seal. A lot of people, especially in the year 2021, yes, it's 2021, if you guys didn't know. January 7th, 2021. Thank God the holidays are over and everybody's back to work, right? I'm all about getting things accomplished at this point in my life. And Monday morning, that's my new favorite time of the week. It's been my favorite time of the week for a couple of years now, but the reason is because that's the time. Get to work, be productive, stop staring off drinking booze. Speaking of which, I think I might clean out this wine glass and then pour me a glass of wine at some point during this lecture. I'm going to try to make it brief today, about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, continuing on with a little bit more about Mississippi. It has the highest percentage of African Americans than any other state at 37%. That is relatively high. During the time of slavery, actually, the population of Mississippi was majority black slave. It was 58% black slave pre-Civil War. So a lot has changed since then, but some things change the same. They're farming, they still farm cotton there. It's still the number one crop. Soy is a popular crop, as it is in just about every state now. And sweet potatoes. They known for their quality sweet potatoes. I've never been to Mississippi. I do like blues music. Blues music was invented in the Mississippi Delta. B.B. King, he was one of my favorite musicians. He passed away a few years ago. He was from Mississippi, as well as many other musicians and celebrities. A lot of people are from, Jim Henson is from Mississippi. A lot of people are from Mississippi, and you would be surprised because, like I said, the population is only 2 million. They have a really long, extensive culture for having such a small population. They're very historic, all the way back from the early days of the United States. They're not an original colony, but they're the 20th state, and they part of the Mississippi's eastern region was part of the United States territory back in the late 1700s. Like I said, Mississippi became a state in the early 1800s. It's a pretty small state. It only has 4 states that border it. Tennessee, Louisiana, Alabama, and Arkansas actually has a little border with Mississippi. Mississippi is where you can find the Checkers Hall of Fame. It's also the birthplace of root beer, one of my favorite drinks. The very first people to settle in Mississippi were Native Americans until De Soto, who was the first to discover the Mississippi River, the mighty Mississippi. We'll get into that in the slideshow. But he also visited the Delta area. That's where the majority of Native Americans lived as well, off of the Delta for sustenance. They have since strained the Delta for cotton production, so it doesn't exist anymore. That area is still called the Mississippi Delta, and like I said, that's the area that's known for the blues. Vicksburg, Mississippi, is the site of the second largest national cemetery. It's also a huge Civil War memorial is located in Vicksburg. We'll get into that in the slideshow. Some of the industries that you'll find, agriculture is number one in Mississippi. We talked about they grow cotton, they grow soy. It's in the south on the Gulf Coast, so it's considered a Gulf Coast state. Its nickname is the Magnolia State. The state flower is the magnolia, and also the hospice state. I'm not sure what the state motto is. Oh, in God we trust. In God we trust. It's on the flag. Generally, states put their state motto on the flag. I don't know. I touched on the flag briefly. This is the new flag right here that you see on the board. Previously, it had a Confederate. It was totally different previously, and considered racist by a lot of people by today's standards. Continuing. I guess we're going to go ahead and start the slideshow unless there's any questions. Okay. So, a lot of stuff going on in the news, huh? Alright. Anything else about Mississippi? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Okay, any questions? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay, no questions. Okay, so we'll go to the slideshow here. Get you a close-up of the flag here, In God We Trust. They did a contest, and this was the winner. This is a nice flag. They had to do a really nice flag if they were just going to eliminate the old flag, which did cause a lot of strife with people. Alright, so the state bird of Mississippi is the northern mockingbird. Hey Google, Mozart, Volume 2. Also,
playing Wolfgang
hey
Amadeus
Google.
Mozart on pen.
Never mind. I gotta wait for him to start playing it. Hey Google, play Beethoven Volume 2. Hey Google, play Beethoven. Okay, so the state flower of Mississippi
Playing Ludwig van
is
Beethoven on
the
Pandora.
magnolia. Also the name of one of my favorite movies. Hey Google, Volume 2. Alright, so let's do some fun facts. Also the wood duck is also one of the state birds of Mississippi. They have 2 state birds, the wood duck and the northern mockingbird. Similar to the Tennessee, which we studied yesterday. Tomorrow's state, Friday, we're going to end the week with Florida. But today we're going to finish up with Mississippi. We went over the state birds, the state flower, and the state flag. I'll show you briefly some of the old flag. So that's part of the old flag. I won't show the whole thing. But the old flag did have the Confederate logo in the corner, which upset a lot of people, and so they switched it to the newer flag, which I put on the screen right here. Alright, this is a magnolia and a mockingbird. Nice picture there. Alright, let's go ahead and do some fun facts about Mississippi. So the Mississippi River, it's the widest river in the United States. It goes through Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. It goes all the way up that way. And one of the most important things about Mississippi's is its tributaries. So the Mississippi River, it's not actually the longest river in the United States. The Missouri River is. However, as you can see on the map on the screen, the Mississippi River is the widest river, and just about every major waterway in the United States is a tributary of the Mississippi River. Back in the day, before steam and trains and automobiles and planes and other modes of transportation, it was very important to have the Mississippi River. So, story behind the name. Mississippi was named after the Mississippi River, and it was adapted from a Native American word meaning big river. It's in the Gulf region, the southern Gulf region. It's a low altitude, wet and humid area that is frequently vulnerable to tropical storms. It's also the poorest state in the United States, if you guys didn't know that. Okay, guys, I actually should turn off that radio, so be 1 second. Let me go ahead and get that radio up there. Even with my windows shut, I can still hear that crazy lady yelling. Oh, continue, Google. Oh, hey, Bella, you still here? I meant to introduce you to my new friend. Hey. Her name's Heidi. Heidi. You're a Heidi. Heidi. It's cheese, Heidi. Oh, he's like, I like bitch. Her name's Heidi because she hides. Oh shit, you guys can't see. Hold on. Heidi. This is Heidi. Whoa, don't do that to the chalkboard, Heidi. Look at you, you're so tiny. It's okay. Most of it's thick. Okay, I went ahead and turned the radio off and got me some cheese and wine. It's so insulting, the neighbor. She's still yelling about me. It's so crazy. That's why, one reason I don't leave the apartment very often is because, yes, there's a pandemic, but also there's this crazy lady staring at my door, yelling things in a foreign language all day, watching my every fucking move. And they're, oh man, once again, I'm breaking my rule. I don't want to talk about them, so I won't. It's okay, Moses. So, very, very quiet class. I kind of like that, you know? I know this is very high quality, and these do have the ability to go places. Sitting and drinking alcohol in front of the screen, or some of the other things that some of these streamers that you may watch do, that's not going anywhere. They'll realize that sooner or later. I'm providing a service. So wine and crackers do go good with cheese. I mean, cheese and crackers go good with wine. No. Whoa. Don't do that, Heidi. Oh, there's no TTS? Is that the problem? Okay. Fuck, man. Is it effing all? Heidi, I don't know why you came out like that. We're in the middle of class. Whoa! No! Heidi! You shouldn't be on there. I'm glad you don't weigh a lot. Heidi, no. Heidi, stop. What are you doing? Hey, I don't want this to fall, silly. This isn't sturdy. Gosh damn it, man. We're trying to do the show here. Darn it. That was odd. Hi, Peach. Peach is climbing up my leg. Sometimes I think these little furry guys are taking advantage of me. That hurt. Come on, guys. Why are you being such boogies? Moses is sick in here. I want to be alone with her. Damn, man, my computer's kind of fucking up. No, I'm really eating some cheese, guys. There's no canned food here. Like, why you guys gotta do this? Now Peach is up fucking with her. Gosh darn it. I just heard the ghetto neighbors yell, "What are you doing? Why would you even be there? Are you like Keanu's little sidekick?" Come on. God. You guys are fucking pissing me off. Okay, let's continue with the slideshow. God damn it. What are you doing exactly? Peach, what are you doing?
MRG_live said.
Okay, the population of Mississippi is 2.7 million. Jackson is the capital. Largest city is Jackson. The climate ranges from 56 degrees, so it doesn't get too cold, and to 92 degrees, so it does get pretty warm. Mississippi has 4,700 tree farms, more than any other state. A few fun facts, and then we're going to get into the foods in Mississippi. Mississippi was the first state in the nation to have a system of junior colleges. Mississippi is one of the oldest states in the nation as well. So, Mississippi was actually the last state to ratify the 13th Amendment. That's the amendment that abolished slavery. They didn't ratify it until 1995, and it never became into law until 2013, believe it or not. So like I said, they seem to have a lot of racist types in Mississippi. Ole Miss is a popular school in Mississippi. Their mascot used to be this guy, this plantation owner. But for now, they changed it to a land shark, whatever the heck a land shark is. Speaking of sharks, we said, big rivers, where their name comes from. Mississippi has 7 state animals, including a bottlenose dolphin, white-tailed deer, a red fox, a mockingbird, a largemouth black bass, spicebush, swallowtail, honeybee, and lastly a wood duck. An estimated $500,000 in tax revenue goes to the cleanup for Mississippi. It's the second largest gambling state after Nevada. All right, so the Mississippi River, and sharks. There is sharks along the Mississippi River. The National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium in Dubuque, Iowa is home to sharks, ray, and saltwater fish. Oh, okay. So there's not actually sharks there. Alright, so we'll probably go into the foods, unless I see something interesting here. Alright, so some common foods that you would find in Mississippi is caramel cake. Looks good, doesn't it? Some more food that you would find in Mississippi is a pig ear sandwich called smokes and ears. Yummy. I've never had pig ears. I don't actually plan on it though. Something else you'll find in Mississippi is the Pompano. No, I'm not pronouncing that correctly.